Hey everybody, welcome back to White Boy Finance. In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to sell cash secured puts on the Charles Schwab platform for passive monthly income, or it could be weekly, could be every 3 days. It just depends on the underlying asset that we'll be trading. In this video, I'm going to show you two assets. One is going to be a very low volatile dividend ETF from Charles Schwab. The other one is going to be a high-flying growth stock that everyone knows what it is. And I'm going to show you how that can drastically change the amount of premium or the amount of income you collect every time you write these contracts. So let's get right into Charles Schwab. This is their web app. They do have a mobile app. They do have a tablet app, but this is just the easiest way for me to record this and show you this information. So in the top left corner, you're going to see a tab called Trade, and you're actually going to scroll under Options and click on Chains. Once you do that, you're going to see this screen. So this is actually being recorded September 14th of 2022. They may actually change the format of this if you actually read what's in this highlighted text right here. So if you're watching this a year, 2 or 3 from now, after the time of this recording, this may look drastically different. So for the low volatility dividend ETF, we're actually going to be trading SCHD. Keep in mind with cash secured puts, there are a couple things that need to happen. You have to have the money in your brokerage account as the collateral to be able to write these options contracts. Okay, it's no different than getting a mortgage for your house. You put 20% down, or whatever you want to put down. The house is the collateral, right? That's what's able to get you your loan. If you can't pay the mortgage, your house gets foreclosed on. This is a similar concept. You need to have the money in the brokerage account in order to be able to write these in the first place. So typically what I like to do is we're going to start with the expiration date of the contract. I like to go to the third Friday, at least 30 to 40 days out. In this case, this is October 21st, 2022. So I select that, and then we're going to go 16 strikes around the money, and then we're going to start with the Greeks, okay? So what I like to look for is implied volatility and also delta. If you look at the delta, we're going to be shooting for a negative 0.30 or a 30 delta, if you will. The closest one to that is going to be either the 69 strike price or the 70 strike price. Just for round, easy numbers, in order to do math later in this video so you understand what's going on, I'm going to select the 70 strike price. It's for October 21st, 2022. $70 strike price, and what we're going to do is we're going to sell to open. Okay, so I'm going to click trade. Now we can actually see this entire options ticket, if you will. So just a quick recap. SCHD right now is trading at the time of this recording $71.60 a share. You're going to put in your symbol, SCHD, put strategy, expiration date. You can always change this. Strike price, you can always change this. Action, we are selling to open. So what does that mean? This is not going to be a tutorial on cash secured puts, but what that means is we are selling to open. We are writing the contract. We have the big pile of money. We're able to write the contract for someone else to purchase from us for a specific dollar amount or premium, okay? So we are the insurance company. We are the house. We are the casino, if that makes sense. We're the one writing the contract. So what does that money come out to be? So if we go here, we can actually click on $1.20. So remember, this is per share, and every options contract controls 100 shares of the underlying. So if you look at one contract, the deliverable for one contract is 100 shares of SCHD. That's what this number is here, where my cursor is. So let's figure out a couple things first. So we know that we're getting paid $1.20 per share in premium times 100 shares. So if we stick with one options contract with a $70 strike price, we are collecting $120 in premium in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. Now, I actually have $100,000 sitting in this account. Okay, this is real money. This is not a paper account. So if I wanted to trade more than one options contract, how would I be able to figure out how many contracts I can trade? Okay, and remember, with cash secured puts, you don't mind these options contracts meeting the strike price, meaning that if these hit $70 a share, I need to buy these shares, okay? And I don't mind buying them because this is an underlying asset in which I want to own forever or for a very, very, very long time. So two things can happen here. Either our strike price is met, the $70 is met, and we have to actually execute on 100 shares in this scenario because it's one options contract for 100 shares, or this never reaches $70. This options contract is never executed. It's out of the money, and we keep the premium. So no matter what, we're making $120. It just depends on where this share price goes and how much further it goes under $70, if that makes sense. So what we want to figure out is how many of these contracts can I write, every 37 days or 30 days or 45 days or so. In this case, it happens to be 37 days. So we're going to I have $100,000 sitting in this account. We're going to go to a calculator. I'm going to type in $100,000 divided by, what am I dividing this by? $7,000. Why is that? Well, hey, Marco, this is a $70 strike price. Wouldn't it be $70? No, because remember, each options contract is for 100 shares. So you move the decimal place over 2 places, tens, hundreds. Each contract is going to be $7,000. So I'm going to divide this by 7,000, excuse me. I can afford to buy 14 contracts with $100,000, okay? So I'm going to put 14. I'm going to click on the mid price right here because it's the easiest way for that to get executed for the most part. Or the fairest, if you will, for both the buyer and the seller. And we're going to collect $1,680 in premium, okay? So if these expire worthless in 37 days, I'm no matter what making $1,680. So let's look at our cost basis if these do execute at $70 per share. Remember, SCHD can go to $50 a share, $20 a share, $1 a share, it doesn't matter. You are writing this contract and you are on the hook for $70 per share for 1,400 shares because we're writing 14 contracts on this. So if I go to my calculator, say this does execute. Say I bought at $70 a share times 1,400 a share. This should be $98,000. We already know that. Minus the premium we're collecting. Remember, we have 98 grand into this as collateral, but we're getting paid $1,680 in premium, $1,680. So our cost basis is going to be $96,320 divided by 1,400 shares, 14 contracts. We effectively will own SCHD 1,400 shares for $68.80. Make sense? The $70 strike price minus the premium, $68.80. So the cool thing about this is if you want to genuinely own the underlying, the SCHD, and you don't want to own it for $71.60, its current share price, you can get paid to buy a stock that you want to buy in the first place at a much lower cost basis. Make sense? So at this point, you would simply just go down to review order. It would allow you to review it. You'd sell to open, do all the good stuff. You have all the account information that I have to black out now. What a pain in the butt. And there you go. You would click place order right here. So voila, that's it. You just created the order for 14 options contracts that need to be bought by another party. Otherwise, they're never going to get executed upon and you won't collect that premium. But you just made yourself $1,680 by pretty much just having money in the bank. So what you're probably thinking to yourself, hey, Marco, this is pennies in front of a steamroller. Why am I risking $98,000 in collateral to collect $1,680? Well, let's take a look at that. So let's take a look at 1,680. Sorry, I forgot to change the screen. Divided by $98,000. Okay, remember we're collecting $1,680 in premium, risking $98,000 to do what? Times 100 to make 1.71%. Wow, you're sitting there thinking to yourself, hey, I make 1.9% in my savings account. I make 2% in my Capital One 360 account. Well, guess what? This was in 37 days. So you have to annualize this. So I'm going to multiply this by 12. Obviously, there's 37 is more than 30 days in a month, for example, but just for easy numbers, multiply it by 12. Realistically, our return is 20.57% if we can do this consistently all year for 365 days or 12 months. Does that make sense? So our yield is incredibly high just for having that money. So you can make 2% in a bank account, or you can make 20.57% just by having that 100 grand and being able to do this on SCHD. So now what we're going to do is we're actually going to take a look at the premiums on a much more volatile stock. Okay, so this is Tesla. We're all familiar with Tesla. We're going to pick the same expiration date. Okay, we're going to go to October 21st, 37 days from now. We're going to go to 16 strikes. We're going to go to check out the Greeks. I need to go a little bit bigger. And we're going to look at the negative 30 delta for Tesla. So the negative 30 delta for Tesla is a strike price of $278.33. So I'm going to select that. I'm going to go back up here. We're going to do the action of selling to open. That's what cash secured puts are. And now we're going to take a look at the premium for something like this. So if you remember, we were getting $1,680 for 14 SCHD contracts. We were getting $1,235 just for one Tesla contract. But remember, our strike price here is $278.33. So if you move the decimal place over 2 places, each options contract, we're going to have to come up with $27,833 in collateral. So if I go back to my handy-dandy calculator, 100,000 divided by, let's just do 27.9 for easy numbers. I can only afford to buy 3 of these, okay? So if I do 3 of these, I'm basically putting up close to like 85, 90 grand to make 3,705. So you can see with just a way more volatile stock that has a lot of implied volatility going up and down, higher highs, lower lows, as opposed to SCHD, which is kind of just like chugging along here, you can see how the premium is changed for the same delta and the same expiration date, 37 days away. So I hope this helped you. You can actually, it's pretty easy to trade these. You just go to verify order, order received, order placed. That's it, done. We already went through that. So that's how you do it through Schwab. You can do this through Robinhood, Webull, Fidelity, TD Ameritrade. Doesn't really matter. There's a million places, Thinkorswim. But my point is, I just wanted to show you how to do this on Schwab and also the difference in premium between SCHD and a stock like Tesla. So if you got value out of this video, please give the video a thumbs up. Please subscribe and click the bell notification if you haven't already. Options, we will have an options professor in Whiteboard Finance University. I already know who it is. He's a friend of mine. He has a really big YouTube channel. I'm not going to say who it is right now, but he's going to be the options professor in Whiteboard Finance University. Please check that out if you haven't already. It's my private school, my private community, private access to me, what I'm buying, selling, trading, whatever. Macroeconomics, all that good stuff. So as always, thank you so much for watching and have a prosperous day. Sometimes I like to mess around with these calculators just to see like if I had, millions of dollars just sitting in the brokerage account, how many of these, cash secured puts you could actually write and see how much premium you could collect. Imagine if you had so if I did 10 contracts, this would be $278,000. This would be 2.7 million. Imagine just having like 3 million here and just collecting $123,000 in 37 days. But then it gets exercised on you and you're just like, okay, now I hold, 10,000 shares of Tesla. Must be nice.